This cake was the beginning of a four-tier wedding cake that we kind of just thought was going to be a problem child from the beginning, and we kind of ended up being right. It all ended up working out in the end, but we definitely ran into some issues that don't normally happen for a wedding cake, so let's get into that. The bride and her mom came in to order this cake 2 weeks before the wedding, which is actually cutting it really close. Typically, for a cake this big, it would be booked out like 6 months beforehand. And it isn't uncommon for brides to walk in or call us a few weeks before the wedding to order a cake, but that's typically only when they want a small cutting cake, just basically for pictures and for the bride and groom. Very rarely is it for a cake this big because most of the time we just honestly wouldn't be available with that short of notice to do something this large. This wedding just happened to be on Father's Day weekend, so we weren't actually that booked up because of that, so we were available to do it. However, the wedding was actually on Father's Day and they wanted it delivered a little over 2 hours away, and we didn't have anyone available to deliver it because of the day that it was. So we ended up delivering it the day beforehand, which we almost never do and just don't prefer in general to do it because that means someone else has to end up setting the cake up when we're not there. So the majority of the issues that we had to work through with this cake came from that. From our experience, it's also just really hard to get all the information we need from brides the week or two before the wedding because they just have so much going on and so many last minute things that they have to do that maybe they didn't think of. And it's just a lot harder to keep up with communication when you're already overwhelmed and communicating with all of your other vendors at the same time. So once we got all of that sorted out, actually decorating the cake was not bad at all. When the bride came in for her consultation, she actually ended up picking two different designs that we had display cakes of and just combining different aspects of those designs. So I had already decorated all of the elements on this cake at least once before. The cake was essentially the same two designs duplicated over every other tier, and then the top tier and the middle tier had blue ribbon bows hanging from the top of the tier. Since the cake had to travel a little over 2 hours in a vehicle in June, I didn't assemble it until we got to the venue, so only the bottom two tiers were stacked at the bakery, and I finished stacking and doing some piping details on site. So I'm going to have to split this up into two parts, but I will post both videos at the same time. So after you watch this one, go check out part two.